This time on the Game Overcast, Epic confirms some epic layoffs.
PlayStation chief will say adios in 2024.
We go through the Tokyo Game Show highlights.
We discuss the latest Game Pass and Sony PlayStation Plus games.
Star Wars trailer becomes one with the Force.
And then we played the Foamstars open beta party. And now we start off with a nice, lovely intro written by our friend Mike Gatwood. Take it away, Mike.
It's gaming with Ben and Matt, but mostly Matt.
Wasn't that a lovely intro, Ben? What do you think?
It is a lovely intro, but screw you, Mike, honestly. I do talk, right? If you listen to the episode, you know, bro. God, enough. I knew I was going to get stick from someone. I was like, there it is. Yeah, okay, let's go.
But there we are. If anyone else wants to have a crack at writing an intro, send it in to us through Discord or something. If it's good, we'll whack it in for episode 3. But let's begin! What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Game Overcast. We've come back. We're back for another episode. I mean, it's took us about 85 times to get this episode down this time. We've had issue after issue after issue, but we're back. We're doing it. We're here. We're live. We're kicking. Ben is here with me, I believe. I believe you're here, Ben. You are.
I'm here.
He's here. Everything's working.
It's wholeheartedly my fault because my internet decided it didn't want to work last time and people were leeching it. And it got to a point when we're like, well, this ain't happening. So episode 2, but this is attempt 5 million, billion, trillion. Technology was this week. It really wasn't.
It has been a testing week technology-wise, but we're getting through it. We've got through it. Everything's okay now, and we're back to bring more quality, entertainment for everyone. But yeah, let's start off with our first big segment then. So we have the Epic Games layoffs. So in the news I want to say this week, but was it this week or was it last week? One of them.
It was this week. I mean, the news might be irrelevant by the time the episode comes out, but I'm hoping it's still got some relevancy.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. But let's get through this. Let's get through this. So yeah, Epic Games have announced it's laying off roughly 16% of its workforce, resulting in around 830 employees losing their jobs. That is a lot of job loss.
Yeah, it's quite big as well for Epic Games because you think Epic Games, you think, they're raking in like the dollar and stuff, but turns out from head honcho Tim Sweeney that the layoffs were a cost-cutting measure that will include Bandcamp, which they acquired last year, and they're spinning off advertising platform Superballs into an independent company. And yeah, it comes basically that they've been spending too much and not profiting enough. So this is what the layoffs they felt were necessary.
Basically, they've been spending too much on Fortnite, haven't they?
Well, you think of all the collaborations they've done. They've had like Star Wars, they've had NFL, they've had like DC. That stuff don't come cheap with
all the anime ones as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to pay P to get the rights to do that. So I imagine they spend more than they've been earning from those.
Yeah, I did like the sort of PR spiel that they threw out, saying that it's like, was it for trying to turn Fortnite into a metaverse-inspired ecosystem for creators? What an absolute load of waffle!
I'm sorry, because obviously, I've read the article and the press stuff a few times. When I read that one sentence, I'm like, what are you on about? Metaverse-inspired ecosystem? It's a bloody game, bruv. Like, what are you saying?
It is a bit mad. It is a bit mad. Like, just say you spent too much money trying to get the stuff in your game and now you're suffering for it. That being said, it did kind of come out of the blue. I thought they was absolutely killing it because of Fortnite. I thought that the amount of people that throw money at them, myself included, I'm not going to lie, for skins and stuff. Yeah, exactly. I thought they had been absolutely swimming in cash, but apparently, for a while now, they've been spending far more than they've actually earned. So
yeah, I mean, they've tried to scale back on like their marketing and like all the events they do, but from what was going around, they fell short of achieving financial stability, and the layoffs they felt were the only solution, which means all those people, was it 830 employees are losing their jobs, which in this current climate as well, I don't know what it's like in the States, but any recession is just going to be hard for anyone to be told, oh yeah, you're out of work. It's like quite gutting, isn't it?
Yeah. It's horrible. First of all, obviously, we hope they go and get new work quickly because no one wants to see anyone without a job. It looks like they've sort of arranged it so that most of the layoffs, or 2/3 of it, are coming from teams outside of core development. So it looks like they're still focusing most of their staff on things like Fortnite and other events. But yeah, it's still horrible to see. Yeah, and Sweeney did say that departures will not come at the expense of game development or lines of business. So it looks like they're still going full steam ahead on the game, but just maybe some like office jobs, that sort of thing might have
marketing, maybe PR, like relation, stuff like that. But I think game development is safe. It's just, I mean, all the other roles, they are essential to a game because without a marketing or a budget team or a PR department as well, it's going to be hard to spread word of mouth. So even though the development's safe, it's the rest of it that makes the full cog in the machine work, sort of thing.
That's it. All the departments need each other to survive. Yeah, you need the marketing, you need the IT. I imagine you need the developers. You need the whole lot. You need the whole lot to keep going.
It's just our infrastructure, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
because you take out all these moving parts, and the game is the bread and butter, is all the rest of it, and it's just like it would be a snowball effect. So hopefully they've got a plan in place. I mean, the good thing is that they're still developing content for the likes of Fortnite, Fall Guys, and Rocket League, so nothing's stopping in that area per se.
Yeah, true. They also did say that like anyone that is affected by this will have 6 months of base pay and 6 months of Epic paid healthcare, which obviously being in the US, that's very important for them. So that's I don't know if that's what we would classify as a good deal. 6 months is quite a long time, but I don't know how things work like that over there. It's obviously different to us, but at least they're doing something.
It's not like they've left them high and dry, is it? And we know like healthcare in the States isn't exactly the best, so at least they've that's covering for 6 months. And who knows, I imagine with the gaming industry that they might be snatched up by other studios. So
that's it, yeah. I imagine someone's going to come in and be like, hey, come work for us. The other good, I say this is good news, the other good news is that this is going to be the only round of layoffs. So this shouldn't be happening again. This should be the thing that gives them the shot in the arm they need. I hope it's anyone, because obviously, again, you don't want people to lose their jobs. And yeah, it's the closer it gets to Christmas, the last thing you want to be told just before Christmas is hello, thanks for playing, goodbye, sort of thing. No one wants that. No one wants that at all. No one wants it any time, but...
No, it's just, I was more shocked really because I honestly, like we said at the start of the episode, like we thought Epic was like rolling the cash, and then it just goes to show that even a powerhouse like Epic in the gaming industry, even they're like suffering at the moment. But yeah, just hope all those people can get their foot in other studios and not out of work for long.
That's it. So yeah, and obviously all these layoffs have come just a few weeks after the chief creative officer. And I didn't know there was a title, but Fortnite head Donald Mustard. What a name, Mr. Mustard. If he was Colonel, if he was a Colonel, that would be the best thing in the world. Colonel Mustard,
a character from like Red Dead Redemption or something. When I was like typing up these notes, I was like, Donald Mustard. I was like, he's got to be a top Donny, surely.
Well, it's a character out of a Clue, though, isn't it? It was Colonel Mustard in the dining room with the lead pipe.
Yeah,
what a name!
Like that kind of name. I was like, oh, okay, fair play, but yeah, it was just made me laugh.
That's it, yeah. Obviously finishing up, then we hope everyone that is affected gets a new job soon and that they're not without work for too long. We hope this is the last time for a long, long while that Epic has to do something like this. And yeah, let's move on to our next subject.
Okay, so on to the second news. We have quite big in the world of PlayStation, but PlayStation head Jim Ryan is leaving Sony in spring 2024, which is quite big news.
Yeah, especially since he's been with the company for, well, it feels like forever.
Yeah, I mean, he's been there almost... What was nearly 30 years he's been there.
Oh God, that's nearly as long as I've been on this planet.
Oh, you think in 30 years in terms of the evolution of PlayStation, he's been there since day one, from the PlayStation 1 up until PS5. So that's a long time to be in that role. And obviously he's been president and CEO since 2018 as well. So it's like quite a big cog to lose at Sony.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be missed. I think obviously when you've been at a place for so long and you've had your fingers in so many pies, like you've had your hand or you've been part of so many different things, something like that leaving is going to cause some changes. He did put out a statement going, I found it increasingly difficult to reconcile living in Europe and working in North America. I will leave having been privileged to work on products that have touched millions of lives. There we go, lives across the world. PlayStation will always be part of my life, and I feel more optimistic than ever about the future of SIE. I want to thank Yoshida-san for placing so much trust in me and being an incredibly sensitive and supportive leader. So I didn't know that he was Europe-based and then working for like the North American area.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, to be fair. When I was doing the research and into that, I just thought he was just based over in America. I didn't know he was doing it from Europe, but yeah.
But when you're looking into like his history, he was the leadership, like the main man for Sony Europe. So it kind of makes sense. He must have just been promoted up, and I can imagine that must be a horrible task, like living in Europe but working on like American time zones, because there's quite a big gap between time zones with us. That I've got friends in America that like sometimes as I'm going to bed, like they're sort of, it's late morning sort of thing. It's mad. Or early morning for them, so it
Depends what
is
part
mad.
as well, because
Yeah.
like some states are like they're either 7-8 hours, or depending what part of the US you're on as well. So I can imagine being on, because Europe time's similar to us anyway. So
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But yeah, he's leaving in spring 2024, which I think is it April the 1st. He's like the first day that someone will step in. Hiroki Totoki, I really hope I've pronounced that correctly. Please don't kill me if I haven't. Will step in as the interim CEO, who is reporting to the overall Sony CEO of Kenichiro Yoshida. Again, I really hope I've pronounced these correctly. I probably haven't, but
it's a good attempt.
I've gave it a go. I've given it a go. Please. But yeah, he's leaving. I hope things doesn't change, because to be fair, at the minute, like the PlayStation brand is smashing it out of the park. Like the PS5 has been a hugely successful console. Now that we've got out of that time period where you couldn't get one, it's been really good. I love it playing games on the console, and I'm traditionally a sort of Xbox fanboy. So for me, it's become my primary console. Obviously,
It says a lot, because you're an Xbox boy as well. So, and the fact you can actually get the consoles now too, because there was that period where you just couldn't get them for love nor money.
yeah, that was it. That they had, I suppose, obviously the lockdown and the epidemic and all that. Pandemic. That's the one. Pandemic. I always get them two words mixed up. With that, it kind of put a strain
as well.
Yeah, it kind of put a strain on everything. Like, and then because of that, we had all that scalping, which was horrible. I mean, at one point, I think I saw a PS5 going for £1,000, which is obscene. But they weathered through it.
Shortage as well, though, wasn't it? That was a contributing factor why there was like this dent in production, because the chip shortage as well, which never helped it.
No, that's it. And I still remember when, because I was like, I'm not paying anything over RRP for the console, and then one day it was like, oh, because I used to follow, it used to be all those accounts. It was like, oh, they've got stock coming in on this place, this website. And then one day I was looking at it and it was like, oh yeah, they've got some in stock at RRP on the Sony website. And I was like, oh, let's have a look. I bet they're going to be gone in minutes. And they had some in stock. And I was like my credit card did not come out of my wallet fast enough. I was like, buy it now, get it done. But yeah, no, they've sort of gone all through that. They've had a successful launch eventually. It's a powerful console, really good to get a kit. But yeah, he's off. I'm sure things won't change too much. There's going to be some change, obviously, with new leadership. There always is. But yeah, he's put in a good run. 30 years is a long time.
And obviously they were appointing Takoti as chairman, so PlayStation had of Ryan's exit. And then obviously I imagine it will be a long process to find a replacement, but it will be in good hands with Yoshida-san and Takoti as well, because, being, Japanese company as well, they'll obviously keep the ship running. And I don't think too much will change, really. It'll just be more the day-to-day runs of the company, I'd imagine. But yeah, the search for the new replacement will start, I imagine, pretty soon.
Yeah, I imagine it's probably already started. Like, because you need a sort of a long run-up period. Putting Totoki-san on the board already is a good thing, because obviously you can then observe and see how things are currently run, and then when it is time to take over, you sort of hit the ground running, sort of thing. So it's good in that regard. I think it's still going to take a fairly sizable amount of time to find that new person, because obviously you want the right person going in, don't you?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's not like you want like someone that hasn't got the qualification. And Sony's in good hands. It will just be this process to find this replacement for Jim Ryan now.
We should start a Twitter trend. God, I really can't talk today. It's not really good. It's not a good omen for a podcast, is it, when I can't really talk properly today? But we move.
You need a timeout. Are you all right?
Sit in a corner and think about what I've done. We should start a Twitter trend about hashtag get stock of the CEO role. I'll take over. Don't worry about it. It's all fine. It's all fine.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think we should start that. Right. We should start a trend right now. Of not Twitter, it's X now on it, but yeah. Soccer for PlayStation CEO. Let's get this going.
That's it. We're definitely putting that on the tweet out for this episode when it goes live. It's got to be done. But yeah, no.
100%.
Fair play to the man. Is that a good run? See what happens. The future's bright. They're doing well at the minute. Hopefully this may continue.
I said, I think, the guy's earned a break. Like I said, 30 years in any job. Like, come on, that proves the guy can stick it out. And he generally loved what he was doing, but I just think he's probably got to a point now that wants a new challenge maybe, or just like I said, for the family life. But, good luck to Jim Ryan, and may PlayStation continue to thrive.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, if you think about it, 30 years is a long time to be in the workforce. Like, I mean, I've only been in the workforce just over 17, 18 years now. Like, so having 30 at one place, which, yeah, it's mad. So, I mean, I imagine he's just going to retire, sit back, feet up, Netflix, cup of coffee. Why not? He deserved it. You've earned it. Have a rest.
Yeah, he definitely have, and especially with the innovations PlayStation have taken over the last 30 years as well. He can honestly say he's left a part in legacy in a sense because he's been involved from it since day one. So definitely earned your retirement, mate.
That's it. That is it. But now we're finished about talking about people leaving, and now it's time to talk about games that are coming and going to the Game Pass and the PlayStation Plus. Let's move on to that one. Okay then, right. So up first, let's talk about Xbox Game Pass. There's some new games coming and some games leaving as well. The main, I suppose, the big one, the big one to talk about is the new reboot of Forza Motorsport is coming to Game Pass. That's going to be good for PC and Xbox. I'm kind of excited for this because I do like a racing game. I really do like a racing game.
Yeah, and Forza's a, it's one of those, like when you think of racing game, you think Gran Turismo, I think of Forza as well. And it does look like it's going to be a really good one as well. And it's just easy playing at Forza as well.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But yeah, that's coming. They will be arriving over the first 2 weeks in October. So we're already 1 week in. So most of these will probably be released by now. So that's good. We've also had Gotham Knights and the Lamplighters added. I don't know too much about these two games, but they are all going to be available on cloud, PC, and obviously Xbox Series X and S.
I mean, I know about Gotham Knights, and it was one I wanted to play, and then obviously through friends and stuff, they just said it just really wasn't good. And obviously the Arkham games are some of the best character-driven third-person games, but I don't know, like Gotham Knights looks like it was a massive step down. I don't know if it was a different studio and it wasn't WB directly involved, but yeah, it was one I wanted to play, and now I'm kind of a bit by it, to be honest.
Well, I'm going to give it a go because why not? It's got to be done, really, isn't it?
If it's free, like I said, like, because I was going to buy it, and then obviously one of our friends was like, "Oh, it was terrible." I was like, okay, maybe I won't buy it.
Yeah, but now it's on the Game Pass. I'll take that. Obviously, I'm paying for Game Pass as it is already because I do have a Series S, so I will give it a go. I'll let you know. Maybe I'll talk about it in a future episode.
Yeah, that'd be a good show. And then
have a little update, like Stalker played Gotham Knights and he thought,
was it bad?
Who knows? We'll find out soon. I don't know anything about a game called The Lamplighters. Not gonna lie.
Maybe, mate. I don't. Yeah, I was looking up and I went. I couldn't even describe what it is, but yeah, apparently Lamplighters is coming too. So if anyone knows less about, hit us up because we're clueless.
Then a new title is Warhammer 40k Dark Tide. I swear this has already been out before.
I think it has, or there was a version of Warhammer out, but I swear they bring out different versions all the bloody time.
This is on, so it's available on the PC Game Pass and will be added to the cloud and Xbox platforms on the 4th of October. So this is already out by the time of recording.
Yeah, so this one will already be available for anyone to play as well. I mean, the Warhammer games are pretty fun to play anyway, so...
Yeah, they are fun. That sort of stuff is fun. It's just very expensive. Very expensive getting into Warhammer.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my friends I've known for like 15 plus years are all into it, trying to get. I'm like, no, because it's expensive, and just no, it's not happening.
Yeah, I enjoy watching or like reading stuff about it, but I just can't. I can't outlay the money for it.
It's time consuming as well, though, because you got to set aside time to paint it and stuff, and then it is a very fun hobby to do, but it's very expensive and time consuming. And I'm like, I've got enough expensive hobbies. I need another one.
The thing is, though, is that I know it'd probably be really relaxing for me and like give me something to do that isn't like most of my hobbies are like computer based or virtual or something like that. Like it'd be good to have something like that. I mean, to be fair, don't get me wrong. I have actually, I'm coming into contact with a 3D printer soon, so maybe I will have something physical in the physical world to play around with. But
yeah, I mean, I like trading card games. That's my thing. Like I've been playing the new Disney one, Lorcana. That's really fun to play.
You got on it?
Oh, mate, I was against doing it, and then like the art of the cards, I was like, oh, they're really good. And when you play the game, it plays like Magic the Gathering. It's easier playing. I went, I'm going to be addicted to this.
There's only one TCG that I still play and collect for. It's obviously Pokemon.
Yeah,
admittedly, I haven't.
Cards.
I haven't taken part in like a tournament in eons, but I still collect them.
Oh, I was going through a period when I was trying to play a Dragon Ball Z card game, and I've never known a more complicated card game. I couldn't even explain to you the rules. I was just like, okay, well, this was purposely made to be hard. The Star Wars Destiny game, that didn't last long, which was a shame. And then Magic the Gathering is my go-to, really.
Well, I bought the Dragon Ball trading card game as well because I swear we was talking about playing it, and I bought the starter deck, looked at the rules, and I was like, what does this even mean?
Yeah, because I remember like one of our friends we work with, like me and him trying to play it, and he's like, "So what's the rules?" And I was like, I don't know." And even when I read the rules, I couldn't. I watched like many YouTube videos, and it was so complicated. I'm like, "Why is the card game this hard?"
It's not cool. It's not cool.
Anyway,
Let's get back onto the Xbox, shall we? The Game Pass.
we went on a massive tangent there.
So Microsoft sneakily added in a game to Game Pass in September that wasn't formally revealed. Capcom's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy is available now for cloud, Xbox, console, and PC platforms. They did not say a word.
It was just like kind of just put on there. I don't know if that was accidental, if they just was like, well, it's on there now. So
objection.
Not allowed.
I need to play this again. I had fun with this back in the day, so I need to get on this.
What is it? Is it like a retro? I've never heard of Phoenix, right? So I was like,
well, let me stop and I'll explain it to you.
2 very boring minutes later.
Right, so yeah, Phoenix Wright, the rookie defense attorney, is coming to Xbox. Obviously, they are remastered editions of the original first 3 Phoenix Wright games. You'll get a chance to go through those visual novels and obviously put away some bad guys after.
I quite like visual novels. I like.
Well, actually, it's not really sort of putting away bad guys. It's defending their clients. He's a defense attorney after all. My bad.
They're not criminal prosecutors. They're defenders.
Yeah, he's a defense man. So stop your guy from going to jail.
They're good visual novels. I don't know. They're just easy to play. I like the Steins Gate one. That's one of my favourite visual novel games. That's really good.
Yeah, I said I played this back on the DS many moons ago. But then again, I was very impatient. So a visual novel was not really the one for me because I was like, I want action, I want destruction, I want explosions, and Pokemon.
You basically want Dragon Ball Z. That's what you wanted, let's be honest.
Like, I looked at a game and it was like, do I fight things? No. Do I blow things up? No. Is it Pokemon? No. Do not want.
Get out. Go home.
Get out my games console. Be gone. But no, now that I'm and I would like to say mature adult. I'll just go with adult. Now I'm an adult. They appeal to me a lot more, so I'll be playing this on the Xbox, definitely. Giving it a go.
I mean, if it's on there, give it a bash, see if it takes you back down memory lane. I imagine it would do with a game like that. It's just mad, isn't it, that the first one was on the DS, which is like, oh God, that's going to be nearly 20 years ago now.
Yeah, it's a long time. I mean, if you really want to feel old, the first game didn't even originally come out on the DS. It came out on the Game Boy Advance in Japan in 2001. There you go.
Yeah, I felt that. That just hit me right in the age, that. Oh, 2001.
Yeah, 2001. I would have been 11 years old.
Me too. I've still got my Game Boy Advance SP as well, so I've still got that.
Same, it's sitting there. It's like, it's waiting for me to play it again. I can hear it every again going, please play me. I'm like, okay.
I've got Final Fantasy Tactics on it, which is still one of my favourite Game Boy Advance games, so I may be bashing that out at some point because Tactics was just so good on the GBA.
I can't lie. There was 2 main series of games I played on the GBA. Three series, actually, tell a lie. It was Pokemon, the Legacy of Goku series, and also Advance Wars.
Oh, Advance Wars, now we're talking. Oh, that's the GOAT level stuff.
I do like me a bit of Advance Wars.
I'm going to have to see if I can get Advance Wars again because I used to love that back in the day.
Well, it's on Switch now. They remastered it and threw it on Switch, yeah. A few months ago.
Tell me that.
Yeah, it's happening. I haven't bought it yet because I think I don't know, why did I? I was moving out. I had to buy stuff for the house, but yeah, it's on my list of games I need to buy.
What's that? And I want the Mega Man edition that's coming out on the Switch, like all the games, because I used to love the Mega Man games, and I'm like, oh no, that's gonna be money.
I've got a few. Speaking of Mega Man, I've got the Legacy collections. I think they are on my PS5. So I bought them on the PS4. So every now and again, I like drop in. I'm like, yes, this is good, and then get really angry with how difficult they are, and then go, I don't want to play this anymore.
I'm pretty sure that's why I stopped playing them back in the day, because you get to a point when you can tell it's like, you know, an East game, because the Japanese games are so damn hard. So I'm like, right, that's it. You're going in the bin.
Yep, you're not wrong, but never put it in the bin because that's just silly.
just metaphorically, not actually in the
One day I want to buy all the Mega Man games on my Nintendo, like my original Nintendo. That's what I want.
Can you imagine owning all those? You'd be like, that'll be a perfect collecting edition
It
for that.
will be very expensive to get them now. They are very expensive games. But we move.
Mate.
We're going on the tangent again.
Yeah, right. Let's go back. So, so we got Capcom Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, and then Xbox Game Pass subscribers, they can try a free trial of EA Sports NHL 24, which I do like the NHL games, not gonna lie. Probably the only sporting game I really played, to be honest.
So, as a British man, my sport game playership goes like this: is it FIFA? No. Do not want. I've no interest in hockey. I've never played it. I've never watched it. I have no interest. But it's popular. It's a popular game over the ocean, isn't it? So
Yeah,
there's gonna be a lot of Canadians coming for me now, isn't there?
Oh, you know it. I mean, I used to play hockey, and obviously I follow hockey since I was a kid. So it's like, my go-to sport. So, but not everyone likes it. I mean, I think if you watch it, you'd be like, oh, this is good. I mean, you like the scraps in it, to be honest. The amount of scrappage in it.
Yeah, I hear that there is lots of fights, and that does pique my interest, but not enough that I'm going to watch a game. Maybe I should.
Oh, is it? Well, it's like, obviously I support New York Rangers, and I watched the game once. It was them in New Jersey. Before the puck had even dropped, there were 6 fights.
Nice.
And I was like, yep, I've seen some blood. I'm happy. Now let's play the game.
Oh dear. Maybe we should have like an episode 2.5 or something where it's like Stocker watches a game of hockey for the first time, and then I'll let my thoughts be known.
Yeah, it'll be like a cool little bonus episode, just like, what do you think? And you'll be like,
20 minutes of me rambling as a traditional Essex geezer that likes to play footy with the lads and a beer. Like what it's going to be like watching hockey.
I mean, I'm part Canadian because my family originates from Canada, so I think that's why I was drawn towards it. And it's
allegedly, I do have a sliver of Canadian blood in my family, but obviously not enough that I want to do all the hockey stuff.
Well, I mean, the reason I got into hockey, and I'll probably get slated for this, was the Mighty Ducks films. When I watched the Mighty Ducks films, I went, yeah, I mean, I've even got a Mighty Ducks jersey just because I was like, well.
Of course you have.
It was for a fancy dress thing, and I went, nah, I'm wearing that around the house, mate. That's happening. But yeah, that's how I got into hockey. And then I saw a few games, and then, yeah, I've been a Rangers fan for 12 years, and it's not been the easiest, but what was any sport? I mean, let's look at the football season for a start. Jesus.
Maybe. Do you know what you know what we should do? We should put on our YouTube channel a reacts. I'm going to react to my first hockey game.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun actually, just to see what you think of it, and then we can do a little discussion.
There we go.
Actually,
I'll do that. Keep an eye on our socials and get subscribed to the YouTube channel because we're going to be putting some stuff up on there. It's going to happen.
Yeah, we just need to figure out what to do. Like, we're still very green at the moment, just early days. But yeah, we have got a lot of ideas for the content stuff side. So and now that we've spoke about the good stuff, the stuff that's coming, it's now time to say goodbye to a few games that are leaving the service. Quickly going over them. There's I don't know if this is Evil or Evil. That's going. Overwhelm, Shenzhen, The Legend of Tianding, Trek to Yomi, and Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion will be leaving the service. That's a brilliant name for a game. I have no idea what it is, but just that name makes me want to play it.
Well, the good news is that games that are leaving the service, there are discounts of 20% off before they depart. So if you do want to get it and you want to play it after, it's 20% off.
Grab those games because once they're gone, as they say. But yeah, that's the way these services work, though, isn't it? Like, they have to make way for the old so they can get all these cool new things in.
That's it. I imagine, again, I don't know how all this stuff works, but I imagine when they do the deals, it's like you can have it on the service for X, Y, Z amount of time. And then when that time's up, it goes back to being a normal game you've got to pay for. There you go. But now, I know you've been waiting to talk about this, Ben, but it's time for the world of gaming, PlayStation Plus. Go on, take it away. What are you saying?
Okay, right. So obviously, I'm a PlayStation boy, and I have a huge problem with PlayStation Plus, but we'll get into it. So for October, the monthly free game lineup includes the Callisto Protocol for PS5 and PS4, Farming Simulator 22, and Weird West.
I'm all over Farming Simulator. I'm not going to lie.
Right, before I even go into this, the reason I have a problem with it is because you get one gold game, and then I'm like, all right, so it's going to be an indie game. But I'm like, really? Like, I think the best game that they did on PlayStation Plus was when they put Final Fantasy Remake on there, number 7.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But yeah, I'm just a bit salty when it comes to some of these free games because there's some absolute bangers, and then sometimes I'm like, I didn't ask for this, but yeah. So Crystal Protocol, that's probably like the big one.
Tell me about that game, Ben, because I've never played it.
So obviously, you know me, I love my narrative-driven third-person games, but it's a narrative-driven third-person survival horror set 300 years in the future. So you might like this.
Okay.
It follows protagonist Jacob Lee. He's basically a victim of fate that was thrown into Black Iron Prison, which is basically like a maximum security penitentiary on Jupiter's moon, Callisto.
Nice.
And when I was watching up some gameplays, it's a combination of like shooting and close quarters combat. So it's a bit of like hand to hand as well as like using weapons and stuff.
Oh, okay, that sounds interesting. I might actually download that.
Did you play like Dead Space, like the original Dead Space?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't.
Oh, I was gonna say because if you like things like Dead Space, then you probably would like this. I mean, this is a bit of me, so I'm definitely going to be installing that. But yeah, that's. There was a lot of hype when it came out, actually, if I remember rightly. So I think it was quite well received as well. So yeah, that one, I think if you like your horror stuff, like your Resident Evil stuff, or like I said, Dead Space, it's definitely up your street for that one.
Yeah, from what you've told me so far, it's definitely on my. I'm interested in this list. I'll have to give it a go. So I mean, it's free as well, so it'd be stupid not to hit the button.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like we said, Farm Simulator 22.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie, I've never played Farm Simulator. And I don't know if I will, to be honest.
This is how much of a nerd I am. There was me and a bunch of guys. One New Year's Eve, we all went into game and bought a copy of Farming Simulator. Ironically, because the intention was to see how stupid we can get in the game before it breaks. And we actually had quite a laugh on it, like multiplayer mode online. With the highlight being that we all drove our like tractors into each other at high speed and managed to break the multiplayer by essentially creating like a pyramid of these tractors that are just smashed into each other and sort of lifting themselves off the ground. And we're just sitting there like, so what do we do now then? It's just, these tractors just like pointing upwards. And it was like, yeah, we broke it, haven't we? But it was fun. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, I'm all over it. I'm going to give it another go.
I love the fact that you managed to break a game. That's amazing. The fact that you actually managed to do that. Oh,
it's what we do. It's what we do. It's like, this is how you play the game. Yeah, but what if I play it this way?
This way?
I prefer this way. I want to do it this way. What do you mean I can't race tractors? Well, fine, I'm going to smash them into each other. How about that?
With tractors.
Yeah, but it was, it was fun. It was a laugh. A good way to spend a New Year's Eve evening.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. I mean, I remember, was it New Year 2020 going to 21? My New Year's Eve was playing Cyberpunk, so
nice.
Better way to spend it.
Nice, not bad at all. What was I doing on New Year's Eve 2020? I was playing Fortnite, as you do.
That was the year no one was allowed out, so obviously Cyberpunk had come out, and I was like, well, I'm going to go around Night City and pretend I can be out in the real world because I can't actually do it in real life. So.
I played so much Fortnite during that lockdown period, man.
I think I did. Because I think, this is how long ago, it was the Deadpool event. That was when I was really, really playing. It got me Deadpool skin, and then I stopped playing it for a while, and obviously we recently started getting back into it. But yeah, we put some hours into that.
Yeah, it was good. It was the only thing keeping me sane, just getting in the party chat with everyone.
Well, that was the only, looking back, that was the only way we could socialise. And then, because obviously it was, pretty much that whole year, no one was really allowed out of the house, wasn't it? So it was the only way we could still be human beings in that way.
Yeah, it's true. But moving on from that negativity, anything else come out on there? Or was that why you were upset?
The next one, no, that's not why I'm upset. I'll tell you why I'm upset once I've gone over this last game. So the next one is Weird West, both for PS5 and PS4. I imagine you've probably not heard of this, have you? Weird West?
No.
Yeah, so basically Weird West is a dark fantasy reimagining of the Wild West where lawmen and gunslingers share the frontier with fantastical creatures. So it's a bit like taking the Wild West and just putting it on a bit of steroids, I guess, with futuristic stuff and some really weird design creatures, but they look cool.
Cool.
It's an action RPG, and each plays their own rules with their own motives, different styles of play in it. So it's like, the other way I can describe it, it's like a simulated sandbox where characters, factions, and places, they react to a player's decisions and are faced with brutal choices, which have an effect on the game, and like there will be consequences for certain actions that can't be undone. So if anyone's ever played the Telltale games, like the Walking Dead games, you know whatever actions you have can affect the story, and that's basically the premise that they use for this, which is quite interesting in the game.
Okay, that is quite interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at the page now, and it's like an isometric action RPG. So that sounds quite interesting to me. I'm not gonna lie.
And I love games where you have to make a decision, but then for whatever decision you make, say if I make it, my story can be completely different to how you would do it. And I love games like that because then you're like, oh, I didn't get that ending, or I didn't get that. And I just think it's a really clever thing for games. So that one I'm definitely going to give a try because I love story deciding games like that.
Yeah, I'm more about that. I'm more about that. That's going to go on the list as well, I think.
Imagine that doing a doing a little play-by for that on the YouTube channel would be hilarious, I think.
Yeah, give it a go. All that sort of stuff we can do.
So if anyone wants to see us play games and be noobs at it, then that's what we'll do.
Now, Ben, why are you upset?
Right.
It's time.
But why am I upset this time? So like I said, like PlayStation Plus, it's Marmite for me. I like it in some respects because, you get your free games, which is cool. You pay X amount of pounds. And obviously now that PlayStation have the different tiers, it's a lot better. But when I look at the free monthly games, I'm like, who asked for this? Who's sitting there picking these games out? Like, if I'm going to be paying X amount of money for a PlayStation Plus subscription, I want banger games. Like, yeah, Callisto Protocol, that would be cool. Weird West. I mean, I imagine people like the farm simulator games, but I don't know. For me, I'm like, I just want banger games, please.
Yeah, I think in terms of like the games that come on, the Xbox, like Microsoft have a far better way of doing it. Like obviously they put all their first party games on Game Pass from day one, and that is cool. So you pay the money for the subscription, and then any first party Microsoft game, boom, that's it. I like that.
I'll openly admit, I've always felt that Game Pass, like, it trumps PlayStation Plus because obviously when you look at the stuff on Game Pass, like, I remember, what game was it? It might have been one of the Resident Evil remakes. Like, I just bought it, and then obviously housemate, he was like, oh, it's already on there. I went, are you taking the mick? I don't know. I just feel the Game Pass, like, it was superior. I mean, what PlayStation got now? They've got like the new tiers, and they got like the extra essential, and they got the premium one.
Yeah.
Which is better because obviously I've got the essential one, and there's a lot of good games like obviously Final Fantasy VII Remake's on there, Ghost of Tsushima's on there. I haven't really bought many new PS5 games because they're all on this PlayStation Essential that I'm playing, which is good. It's just the actual basic PlayStation Plus. I'm like, it could be better, and Game Pass trumps it in my opinion. That one probably get hate for that, but I don't think many people would disagree with that.
No, PlayStation Plus used to be really good in that the games they put out were top tier, like really good stuff. Nowadays, I don't think it is as much. There's not as much quality in the games they put on there, and obviously that you get a lot less as well.
I think they really focus on it as much either, to be honest.
No,
Cause, like,
it's just like an afterthought, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty. That's literally what I was gonna say. Like, it's like an afterthought, and now that they've got these 3 different tiers, I don't think the monthly free games, they're probably not as like, I don't want to say bored in it because it's probably a bad word, but they're probably putting more thought into the different brackets now, which I completely understand because obviously they're more premium payment ones as well. But
yeah,
no,
that's fair enough.
I was just like, yeah, well, okay, I'll play 2 of them. And
I suppose at the end of the day, free games are better than no free games.
Yeah, there is that. I don't know, maybe I'm just a bit like, I want banger after banger. I want 3 banging games, and then sometimes we get 1, or other times we get 3, and then sometimes we get 1. I'm like, okay then.
But no, that is it for this time's update to the Xbox Live Game Pass and the Sony PlayStation Plus gaming lineup. What's next, Ben?
So we will be going over the Tokyo Game Show 2023 highlights, which I'm very much looking forward to jumping into on that one.
Ooh, well, let's go.
Okay, so next thing we got on the agenda is we're going to talk briefly about Tokyo Game Show 2023 highlights. Because obviously that's quite a big. If you're a gamer, that's always a massive sort of event. And this year was their biggest one by far. They called it the largest edition this year. This is how big it was. There was 787 exhibitors, 2,682 booths, and 2,220. Can't even say that right. 2,291 titles representing 44 different countries. That is ridiculous.
That is a lot.
And by comparison to 2022, there's only 1,864 titles by comparison. So when you look at the figures, it's like, oh, yeah, there was a little bit of a big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I imagine it's got a big boost because it's the first time since Japan's borders have been reopened again to foreign tourists. So
yeah, because for a long time, because obviously with the pandemic and stuff, they just weren't letting foreigners in, which I understand why, but they kind of shot themselves in the foot with tourism. But now that they've done it, obviously an event of that size, you need people from all parts of the world. So
Yeah.
huge event this year.
No, that's a massive amount of games there, that's cool. Well, now obviously we picked a few that we're going to talk over in a bit because I doubt you want to sit here and listen to us talk about 2,291 games. I don't think there'll be an episode like there's a number long enough to how many hours that'll take of our lives and yours listening.
Yeah, we'd just be droning on. That's just, I mean, it's good in terms if you're a gamer, but I could not talk about 2,000 things like that. That'd probably be like a year's worth of bloody episodes, I think.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm looking through like the notes and everything, and they had or YouTube there had a creators lounge where influencers and personalities can meet, play games, and create content together. Stuff like that's really cool.
Yeah, because you think like you can do all these different collaborations, meet all these different content creators, and it's a good way to like pump out so much collaborative content as well, and it's the right sort of place to do it as well. And also TikTok, they had a booth there as well where they were showcasing interactive playing through its platform as well. So it's just all these cool little innovative things that the Tokyo Game Show were doing, which doesn't surprise me because having been there myself, they are way ahead of us in terms of technology. It's actually scary how far advanced they are. Like, if you go there, stocks and combat, you'd be like, wow, we are in the Stone Age still.
The problem for me is that if I go there, I will never come back.
I'm going to put this out there. When I was in the airport, Red's come back, I was like, could I live out here as a busboy and just clean toilets? Because I don't want to go back. It was really going through my mind. Honestly, I was like, I don't want to go back because I was such a blast. I didn't get to see everything, but I 100% want to go back there. And for gamers, it is like Candyland.
Maybe one day in the future, we can do an episode from Japan. That'd be cool.
Can you imagine? The Game Overcast does Tokyo. Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be so good.
The content just writes itself, doesn't it?
Well, just like going around Akihabara, because it's literally, there's so many gaming shops there. Like, I'm a massive nerd and gamer, but even me, I was like, I don't know where to start because it's literally wherever you walk, there's a store within a store. And I was like, I actually don't know what I'm doing. I must have missed a lot of it because it's such a big place. But for content creators, it'd be like so good to make some stuff out there.
It'd be amazing. Now, I'm going through some of, basically this episode, Ben has kindly spent a lot of time going through all the news articles, creating a lot of notes on everything. And one, thank you for doing that. I'll do the next episode, promise. And then, but there's a couple of things that have popped up. Like there's some trends coming out of the Tokyo Game Show that console games there's been an increase in console games coming out compared to PC games, which apparently have been slower to pick up in Japan compared to like other countries, which is quite interesting. I thought PC would have been a popular sort of platform universally, just because of how easy it is to get games for it, and then the ability to upgrade and all that sort of stuff. Maybe that is a problem though. Obviously, there's such a wide range of hardware. One of the selling points of a console has always been it's the fixed set of hardware, and then game creators can develop for that hardware. So that's always going to run. But yeah, it was interesting to see that the PC games were slower to pick up.
Yeah, because when I was like going over this all last night, I think with Japan as well, because obviously, you know, that's where the PlayStation came from. I think they've always been more oriented towards the console side. Like there are PC games out there, but I just thought it was interesting because, like you said, in this day and age, PC games, they're more accessible, and it was just like quite a surprising fact, really, because I thought it might have been a bit more even in that respect. But
yeah,
the Switch and the PS5, it seems to be a massive increase in those at the moment.
Fair play. Right, shall we talk about some of the games then? I know you've created some notes on some of the games that was there, and by the looks of it, you've got quite a few bits to talk about. There's a couple of bits I'm going to talk about as well, but there's some that you want to start off with.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there was so many games, but I thought instead of us waffling about stuff, we probably really don't have a clue on what we're talking about. Obviously, my takeaways from it was Sonic Superstars, Tekken 8, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and also the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection was there as well. So I thought, we've played some of those games, we can talk about that.
Now, Sonic Superstars. This is I am a complete Sonic fanboy. Always have been, always will be, since picking up, like getting a Mega Drive when I was a tiny child. And I'm really looking forward to Superstars. I'm not going to lie. I've been watching the videos and sort of the trailers and that sort of thing. And there's been a couple of people that went to Tokyo Game Show and sort of recorded the demos they had there. It looks really good. Like it looks like they finally managed to pull off the 2D but using 3D assets really, like, they've done it well. It looks really good. Obviously, the selling point being that you can have 4 players playing at once. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Is it going to be online? Is it local? If it's local, it's going to be difficult for me because I don't have friends that will play this. You'll come round, Ben. You'll play it with me.
Oh yeah, I'll be there 100%.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's just because the showcase they did, it was for the Bridge Island Zone gameplay. I watched it, and I agree with what you said. Like, they've taken the 2D like platform, but they've incorporated the 3D into it, and it was cool to see both Sonic and Tails in action as well. I think there's some other gameplay floating around of Knuckles involved as well, and it just looks fantastic. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm not a bigger fanboy as you at Sonic, but it's enough for me to go, I want to play this. It looks bloody amazing, I'm not going to lie.
so I know for a fact that they have Knuckles and they also have Amy Rose as well. And it's shaping up to be a really good game. Obviously, as is always with a Sonic game, I'm really optimistic, but I don't hold my hopes too high because of some blunders in the past. But I mean, Sonic Mania was a really good release. But then again, they was playing to what they're strong at, which was 2D platforming, and it was a remaster. Like, in a way, it was kind of a remaster of some of the old games. Obviously, they took levels and improved it. But no, I'm really looking forward to this. It's got some 3D aspects in there as well. I really like the fact that, from what I've seen, they've got the old-fashioned special stage from Sonic 1 in there. You know, where you're trying to get through the diamonds to get to the emerald, but it's continuously spinning. You're like in the pinball machine almost. I'm really looking forward to it. This will be a day one buy. It will be there. I'm definitely.
I agree with that as well, because obviously, one of my favourite all-time Sonic games is Sonic Adventure Battle 2 on the GameCube. Oh man, that game, I love that. But this one, to me, I haven't played Sonic Frontiers yet. I know you said about it, but yeah, this one's probably going to be a day one buy for me, I think, just because, like you said, there's been some bangers with the Sonic games, and there's been some that haven't been as good, but this one I was like, well, this is day one buy, straight up.
I really enjoyed Frontiers, and I still maintain you need to play it.
Oh yeah, it's on my list. I mean, I'm probably going to get that maybe over the Christmas to play it, because yeah, I've watched a lot of gameplay, and the soundtrack alone has got me hyped to play it anyway.
Oh mate, the soundtrack for that game was awesome. I still listen to it. It's in my main like Spotify playlist. It's so good. It's so good.
It's like so many cool bands. Like, you got Sleeping with Sirens on there, One OK Rock, who are one of my favorite Japanese bands. I went, oh, they've done the song for it. I went, right, okay, and just the gameplay looks really good, and I'm like, well, this has got me over it. So yeah, that'll be my next game purchase, I reckon.
Yeah, it's really worthwhile buying it. I think we probably waffled enough about Sonic, but yeah, it's really good. It's shaping up to be really good. I hope it is. I really hope it comes out and it smashes it. And I also see that they've cheekily made it put it up for a release date just a few days before Nintendo released the Mario. Is it Mario Wonders? Yeah, the new Mario game, which is again a 2D game but with 3D assets. So cheeky, but we'll see we're going to see how that plays out for them.
So, I mean, it's quite a clever idea when they're like, I wonder if, and then they'll see which one will come out on top, sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, they're both going to be really good games. I think this one really got me interested. So
yeah, what's the next game to speak about, Ben?
So next one is a fighter. Obviously, we love a bit of fighting games. So Tekken 8. There wasn't too much I could find. They showed like a 5-minute segment. It was just like a story mission. And I'm going to put this out there. I haven't finished Tekken 7, so I was very confused with the story. I'm like, why is Lars here? He's fighting with Jin. Jin's fighting Kazuya. I'm very confused, but it looks insane. Like, the graphics you can imagine for next gen.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. And you just get to see Jin fighting Kazuya and the combos and stuff. And I was like, right, I'm jumping on that, because I love Tekken games. Like, controversial, I prefer Tekken to like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, just because I did. I know some people go the other way, but yeah, this looks phenomenal as well. So I was like, well, that's got to get a mention. I don't know if you've seen the gameplay for Tekken 8.
I saw bits and pieces of it. I remember seeing the initial like announcement for it as well, and the quality of it looked really good. Now, again, I haven't completed 7 either. I stopped playing whenever I played with you, and you just kept like smashing me into the ground. And it was just like, oh, okay, well, that's that then, isn't it? So I stopped playing after that.
My bad. Well, because we used to do a thing where like, us and some of the guys get together, play some games, and I think I lasted, was it 2 rotations, and then I got beat at the last minute, and everyone was like, where did that come from? I was like, I told you I play Tekken. What do you want from me? I'll be good at saying.
I remember going, I've been playing Tekken for years, mate, I'll take you on. And then you put me in the ground, and I was like, oh, okay, yep, that's a thing.
Wherever you were like, my backside hurts right now. I was like, I'm not joking, mate. I used to play it a lot. I still do.
Backside hurts from the good kicking you gave me. Couldn't believe it. Literally, I couldn't do anything. Whatever I decided to do, you had a counter for it. And I was like, really? I think you even got a perfect on me at one point. And I was like, there we go.
It's because I was playing as Horang, and Horang was always my go-to. Like, I knew all his combos and his alterations, so I didn't even say anything because normally, like with games, the ego kicks. I'm going to talk a good game. I thought, no, I'm not. I'm just going to sit here, say nothing, just play it. And everyone was like, "Nah, that hurt." I was like, "Good."
But no, this will be one. Maybe one day or maybe Tekken 8 will be the one where I finally beat you. Who
Yeah, man,
knows?
get some practice in. Who knows? I mean, I'm always up for the challenge, and I did. I'm not gonna lie, I did go a bit ham. I was like, I'm not even gonna pull back on this one.
Yeah, you didn't hold back at all. You just absolutely annihilated me, and I was like, okay, fair enough. That was the thing.
That's the
But
payback for
then
the safety egg on Smash Bros. So
that will forever be enshrined in the memories of us all. Save the egg. But then again, I do remember I did absolutely put you in the ground when we played Street Fighter 2. So it was.
Yeah, and it balanced out. Thing is, like, because I'm okay at Street Fighter, but push come to shove, Tekken's always my go-to. So I was like, yeah, I can accept being absolutely pummeled by you in Street Fighter because I was never that good at it. So I'll take that defeat.
See, for me, Street Fighter 2 was my go-to fighting game. Like, one of the first consoles I received growing up as a kid. So the first console we ever played was a Master System, which my dad had just as I was born. He used to play it as a kid. So that's one of my earliest gaming memories. But the first console we actually got one Christmas was a Super Nintendo, and it was the Street Fighter 2 pack, and it comes with Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So from about 1993, all we would play was Mario Kart and Street Fighter 2. So that, like, my whole family would get round at Christmas and we would just play Street Fighter 2 for eons. And so I've got a lot of experience with that. But then again, I went up and played a pro at Street Fighter 2, and I got my arse handed to me.
That sounds like me in the Tekken 6 tournament. I went to, I think it was MCM Comic Con one year. I got to the final, and would you believe I was playing a Japanese guy, and I went, oh, this is going to go one way. And you know how they hold the controller where they don't hold it naturally? I was like, well, I'm in trouble. I won one round, and he absolutely pummeled me, and I was like, I can't even be mad because the Japanese are just naturally gifted at games. So I was like, I'll take that one. That's cool.
Like this pro that I was playing, they went out and it's like, oh, it's on the arcade cabinet. And I was like, what? Because obviously I grew up playing it on the SNES. I was like,
yeah,
controller, arcade stick, how difficult can it be? Well, obviously I cannot play on an arcade stick at all. Like, even nowadays, like, give me a controller. I know that's like, boo, but I reckon I would have taken him if I was on a controller. But yeah, playing on joystick, like arcade sticks, I was like, nah, not for me. Not for me.
I kind of agree with that one, man. To be honest, I'm the same. Like, I played it on the arcade stick, and I'm like, it's cool, but push come to shove, just give me the controller. Like, I'm more comfortable on that anyway.
Yeah, that's it. That is it.
Yeah, that's Tekken 8. That's coming out. I don't actually know the release date for Tekken 8, but I know it's first part of 2024. I think it's coming out. It might even be springtime, possibly.
Oh.
So yeah, that was a nice little shout out. And then obviously, as you know, I cannot wait for this next game, but it was a really cool showcase for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It was only like a 10-minute actual gameplay, but the panel lasted for 45 minutes. But oh man, it's just got me even more hyped. I don't know if you've seen the
I
trailer.
actually haven't seen the trailer. Obviously, we spoke about Rebirth in our last episode, and a lot of this, like, we watched the state of play and we saw that, and it looked amazing. But if they've got even more now, then the hype's going to go through the roof if this carries on.
Yeah, so all it was like, basically they've left Midgar and it was just the open grassland area, which is where you find the chocobos and you can catch your own chocobo, basically. So they showed you all that stuff. And now there's a cool little feature they've got with the map where there's like these control towers, basically.
Okay.
And in the first game, Chowdhury, who develops the materia for you and just does all the summon challenges, he finds Cloud to get you to restore these towers, and it just improves the map, and he'll bring up like side missions, items, and stuff in the world, which is really cool.
Oh, nice. So it's shaping up to be like absolutely jam-packed with features and side missions and all that sort of stuff, which is what you want to see in those sort of games.
Yeah, and what they've done as well in the first game, there was an actual materia. It was like a blue materia for synergy, which basically means when you equip that, your party follows it. But what they've done in this game, it's not a materia. It's part of just your normal combat now. So say if you're Cloud and you start attack, then you'll have like Barrett and Tifa just follow the lead and just start attacking on their own as well to join the attack. And I was like, well, that's freaking dope.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
But yeah, give it a watch. But it just shows like catching the chocobo, because obviously you can ride your chocobo. They can find items out in the world. Shows you this new map system as well. Good look at the combat as well. Like the synergy feature's cool, and just some of the monsters you get to fight. But it's got me even more hyped for it now because I'm like, the fact they're doing all this game's gonna be so packed. It's gonna be unreal.
I'm really buzzing, man. I'm really buzzing. I said last episode I was really buzzing, and I still am. It's definitely again another day one by. Next year, it's next year's coming out, isn't it?
Yeah, February next year. I'm going to be honest. This makes me Christmas happy. I don't throw that phrase around happy, but this game is going to make me Christmas happy to the point where I'm just like, I will be shedding happiness tears because I've never wanted a game so bad in my life. I swear down.
It's like February shaping up, or next year in general is shaping up to be a massive year for gaming.
Oh, it's going to be huge. Like basically the first quarter of 2024 is going to be massive for games, which I'm so glad because like we've discussed when we've been off air sort of thing, there's been such this dry patch for games, and now we're in this period where there's a lot of banging games coming out, and I'm actually excited for it as well.
That's it. Roll on 2024. Roll on 2024.
Let's go. And then the last thing was just Konami had a booth where you could play the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. So people got to play that because it had literally every single Metal Gear game on there pretty much. So the classics, Metal Gear 1, 2, 3. That's coming out. I think it's 24th of October it comes out. Pretty soon it's coming out. But
so it's soon.
Yeah, it's just a worthy little mention. Obviously, I love the Metal Gear games, as crazy and complex as the stories are, but I always say Hideo Kojima, he's just a genius. His storytelling is bar none one of the best in the industry. So that was just a worthy mention right there.
Do you know what? I'm really shocked they haven't made a movie yet, because it would translate so well to be a movie series. For
a while, they was trying to get it going, and obviously we know the curse of the video game movies haven't been the best, but at one point, Jensen Ackles, who's in Supernatural, he was the runner for Snake, and then Oscar Isaac, he was a front runner for it, but then I think the project's just indefinite hiatus, which makes me sad because I think, like you said, the Metal Gear film series, it would be amazing. I think it's one of those franchises that you could definitely adapt it and it wouldn't rely on the CG side of it too much either.
Yeah. That's a shame. It's a shame, but maybe one day.
Yeah. So that's all the roundup for Tokyo Go. I can't even talk now. Tokyo Game Show 2023. I got my words tied there. Say that 5 times really fast.
So before we move on to the next section, there's a couple of games that we've got notes for that I want to talk about as well, that are coming out soon. And I think there's one you want to talk about as well before we move on to the next topic, which is obviously Star Wars is becoming one with the Force. But I'm still buzzing for Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4. I need it. It's been so long. It's been so long since 2007 was when the last one came out, and I need it. They
so old, man.
In terms of updates for that, they've Bandai Namco have trademarked the title called Sparking Zero. Now, if I remember rightly, in Japan, I think Budokai Tenkaichi is called, instead of that, it is Sparking.
Yeah.
So
that's what it was known for out there. The East Coast Sparking, whereas we call it Budokai Tenkaichi.
So, which is pretty cool. I have got every single Budokai and Budokai Tenkaichi game. I went out a year or two ago, and I was like, I want them all. I need them. I want them. So I've managed to pick up everyone now, and I've been playing through them all. And even it would come out at the time of the PS2, and it was so good, so good.
Tenkaichi 2, when that came out, it just blew my brain because that's probably my favourite. I think was number 2.
Yeah. I still prefer. So in terms of Tenkaichi, I think 3 was the bit that I prefer. I like that the most, just because of the sheer amount of characters it had. In terms of Budokai, you can't beat Budokai 3. That was even the intro video. Just the Budokai 3 is just it's beautiful.
This moment.
it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful moment. But there's been some leaks sort of coming out from a Dragon Ball Z fan and a noted leaker, Geekdom 101. They're saying that the game is coming sooner than people realise. I really hope so. I want to play the literal crap out of this. I need it. They're saying they're sort of added on to replies to the original sort of post about it that it could be arriving in early 2024, which is cool. It makes sense because there's been a wave of fighting games being released or announced now, which hasn't been seen in quite a while. Obviously, you had Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, Tekken 8, and now Budokai Tenkaichi 4. it would be beautiful. So it's still in development. No like concrete details have been announced about that. But if it's anything like the old games, I'm sold. Like if
Yeah,
I could play, go on. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, like, if it's anything like the originals and they don't change it too much, they just update it, it's just going to be like, right, I've waited 16 years for this, it'll be worth it.
If they give me Tenkaichi 3, but with online play, sold.
Take my money.
So I have a rule about Dragon Ball Z games.
Okay.
It's a simple rule. It's if there is a Dragon Ball Z game released, I buy the game, and I will continue to do this.
Simple.
Yeah, simple. Very simple. See game, buy game. That's how it works. Because like games like this, they're normally pretty niche. Now I know obviously Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Is it Fighters? Fighter Z? That's become like a staple of fighting game tournaments, like beat 'em up tournaments now. But there's not many like anime games in general that get made. And anytime those sort of games do come out, I like to support them because it shows that there's a market for them. But I mean, Dragon Ball Z is a massive entity in its own right, so I don't think they've got that problem. But I just want to I want people to know that the market's there for them. And even if it does tell me the same story for the 85th time, I will play it. And I will enjoy it.
Well, the thing is as well, we don't know what, I mean, I imagine pretty much all the arcs will be in there. But I think what's going to be good about it is if they can ride off this high of the fighting game sort of resurgence, because I think Tekken 8's scheduled for January 2024 release. So if that comes out and does well, then Bandai Namco could like push out Budokai Tenkaichi 4. And if they tell me just right, it could just be the perfect time for them to get everyone on hands of it. So yeah, it's a really good time for the fighter genre, which, you know, we know this is a day one buy. That's not even a debate right now.
My rule dictates it must be a day one buy.
I mean, well, was it 2000? Yes, it'll be what, 16, 17 years since the last one. So it's not even a question, man. Like, that's day one buy straight off. I'm even booking a long weekend off work for that, I think. That's not even debatable.
Yeah, no, time will be booked for this. I can honestly see myself getting the game, putting it in the PS5, and then my weekend disappearing.
It'll be a weekend well spent.
Exactly.
But yeah, there's not much other stuff at the moment. It's still very much in development, but it was just a cool mention just to update on what we know as it stands. But it's going to be so good.
Buzzing. Final words, buzzing.
Why is it, mate? Sign me up.
Now, it seems there's an Alan Wake 2 release coming as well.
Yeah.
This is one for you.
Played Alan Wake. You've not actually played Alan Wake, have you?
I haven't, no.
Well, just to give you a bit of brief background, so the first Alan Wake came out in 2010. Oh, jeez, was it that long ago? My goodness. So yeah, 13 years since we left Alan Wake in the dark place. The original game itself, we had like this cult following. Obviously, it was done by Remedy. Remedy don't do many games. When they do, they bang. So good. The game itself, it just had a compelling narrative. If I was to describe it to you, it blends a kind of Stephen King-esque psychological mystery with like surrealism of Twin Peaks. It's that kind of game. And in the last sort of decade, Remedy's become one of the gaming industry's premier development studios. Because just the innovation they do, because they mix like real life footage with game footage as well. So it's quite a unique take on the games. But yeah, Alan Wake 2 is scheduled for release for 27th of October this year. It'll be on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the PC. There was a trailer that I released back in August at Gamescom. It was called The Dark Place trailer for Alan Wake 2. So it just gives you a brief kind of teaser of what to expect from it. What's cool about the game is there's two protagonists in the game. So you get to play as obviously Alan Wake, who's a writer, and he's trying to escape the Dark Place because at the end of the first game, he gets trapped in there trying to save his wife, and now he's trying to write himself out, which you can imagine is not going to be an easy feat. And then in the real world, there's an FBI agent in there now, so you're going to be controlling two of the characters. So it's like this double narrative, and they're kind of, the stories will coincide to catch each other up, sort of thing, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I remember the hype when this game sort of first came out, but I never played it because back then it was like, I think pretty much the only game I played was FIFA, or the games I played was FIFA and COD, because I was like one of them people. I just want to show people play football.
It wasn't quite a taste, to be honest. It wasn't like, not every game would play it, so like, I imagine if you was like into those games back in the day, this wouldn't probably cross your radar necessarily.
Fair enough, but it's okay. I'm going to ask a question. Do you recommend me playing it now? Like the first one, picking it up and getting it?
I 100% recommend it because they did the remaster of it that came out this year.
Okay.
If you like these kind of games, like they're story-driven third person, I'd recommend it just because, I mean, I love Remedy because they've done Alan Wake, and obviously one of my all-time favorite games, Control, was another one they did. That was a game that when I saw it, I went, "Oh, this has got my interest." And when I saw it was Remedy, I went, "Oh, okay." And it's in my top 5 games all time. Control, I absolutely love that game. Can't rate that one high enough.
Okay. Now, I'm reading through your notes, and they're saying that they've set it up as a standalone experience, so newcomers can enjoy the thrill ride with no knowledge of the previous game. So that's good. That'll
Yeah,
be good
it's
for
not
someone like
necessarily
me.
one. Yeah, so you don't necessarily need to play the first one. If you play Control, Control had a DLC they released called the Outer World Events, and basically when you're in this DLC, it mentions the events of the first Alan Wake, and Alan Wake's actually in the DLC, and it kind of, if you like, was the start up and the beginning of Alan Wake 2. Because what Remedy are trying to do, they're trying to build this shared universe where all these games interconnect, sort of thing.
Okay.
And the creative director Sam Lake, he said like the idea is to have this crossover gaming experience in the RCU, which stands for Remedy Connected Universe. And in Control, you have the Federal Bureau of Control, which deals with all these supernatural time shifting elements. So they'll have a presence in the game. So obviously, if you played both, you're going to be like seeing the similarities and the connections. I thought that's pretty cool that they're trying to build this shared universe, which I don't think's really been done with many studios. So it's quite an exciting prospect.
It's a very Marvel thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's you know, I mean, let's face it, when it comes to shared universes, whether you like the new Marvel stuff, they did sort of do it to a degree very, very well, and they was the first studio to do it. So now they're obviously influenced by that as well. But I think it's cool to have a shared game universe, especially the 2 characters. And I hope Jesse Faden shows up in Alan Wake 2. Probably not going to happen, but I can dream. I can dream.
So it looks like another game going on my I need to play this list then, which is fine. Maybe one day I'll have enough time to play it more.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, we don't get to game as much as we do, but yeah, games like this, like, obviously it's a horror game, so it's not going to be like Resident Evil horror. It's a different, more psychological horror. And I just started replaying it, and there's things I forgot, and I went, "Oh yeah, I remember this. This gave me nightmares when I was younger. Cool, thanks, game."
No, I'll check it out then. I'll see if I can get a copy and give it a go. But that is the wrap up of our sort of Tokyo Game Show, and then some other games that was interesting us at the same time. And now it's time to move on to our next subject, which is involving Star Wars. Right, get your lightsabers ready because it's time to cross over into the world of Star Wars. Now, this one's probably not going to be a massive topic for us to talk about. It's just something that we noticed and thought, well, why don't we have a quick chat about it? But yeah, obviously there was announcements for a remaster of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, and there was a trailer put up, but that trailer has disappeared. Now, nothing has been mentioned about this game for ages. Now, Ben, did you ever play the original? I'm going to shorten it as KOTOR.
Or Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did play it a lot, and I loved it. It was like one of the only apart from World of Warcraft, the only other like MMO game that I really invested time in.
Oh, okay. So people have been sniffing around trying to get more info about it. Sony has been contacted, and they went and told Kotaku that as part of normal business, we delist assets with licensed music when the licenses expire. Now, one of the things it makes you think about is, why would they let it expire if it's an active project? Do you know what I mean? Like, if that is an active thing, they would sit there, they would renew it, they would do whatever they need to do to keep that up. Now, in 2021 was when the remake was first announced for the PS5, and it was also the last time there was any real news or updates, apart from one in 2022 from Bloomberg, which came out saying that the project was an indefinite development hold as a result of major staff departures. So, and they seem to be just removing traces of it altogether, deleting tweets, hiding the reveal trailer. Now, what do you reckon? Do you reckon it's going to be cancelled? It looks to me like it's going to be cancelled, man.
I mean, even though they haven't come out and publicly said it, when they're doing stuff like hiding trays, deleting tweets and stuff, I've pretty much, it's a given that I think it's cancelled, which is a shame. But it's just, there's been nothing on it. Like, it was like 2 years ago they announced it, and then it was only because people started noticing stuff online and stuff, and I was like, Okay, that's interesting. With the licenses as well, and then there's even speculation going around that the remake development Aspire Media have been cancelling games and closing studios in light of a restructuring program, apparently. So I think that could have something to do with it, maybe. Like the studio's in trouble, basically.
Because there was a legend there, they had some big $2 billion deal, didn't they? That kind of just fell apart, which has caused all these sort of restructuring and cancelling games and closing studios because Aspire's owned by Embracer Group. So it looks like something's hit them hard. And because of that, it's sort of put a lot of stuff into the, oh no, are we going to do this category or not?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much we could see the game, but I'm just going to go out there and say, as it stands, it's on indefinite hiatus, even cancelled. Because, like I said, there's been nothing on it since. And with all this now, you're like, well, this probably ain't going to see the light of day. That's going to be shut away in someone's vault somewhere, and we'll never see it, which is a shame because I know a lot of fans were really eager for it, myself included. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's never going to happen now, sadly. But it's a worthy mention anyway.
It is a big shame because, like, the Star Wars games, the last two big Star Wars games have sort of smashed it, I think. Like, they've been really good games.
Yeah, with obviously we had Fallen Order and Jedi. I haven't played Jedi Survivor yet, but I know from people said that they were really good, and they're probably some of the best Star Wars games we've had in a long time, to be honest.
Yeah, that's it. After the whole Battlefield 2 fiasco.
Oh,
no, Battlefront 2, that's it, not Battlefield.
I think everyone assumed it was going to be like the OG Battlefield 2, Battlefront.
You fell for it as well.
What is it? Yeah, that game, that one. I thought it was going to be that, and now it just wasn't. And then for the launch, they bodged as well as EA. So what do you expect? But yeah,
it's a shame. Final words on it, really. Yeah, if it is actually cancelled, it's a shame. Hopefully, everything gets sorted and they can get working on it again because I was interested in it. Because I never played the original. Maybe I'll just have to pick up the original and play it in its old blocky graphics glory.
I was tempted to try and get it and play it on my laptop just because it is still on Steam. I'm like, oh.
But yeah, hopefully it gets sorted. Hopefully it comes out. It'll be good to see. And yeah, moving swiftly on from that, then it's on to our final topic. Let's go. Which it was all about the Foamstars open beta party, which we did say in the last episode that we were going to be playing, and we did, and we've got some thoughts on it.
Where do we start with this one? Oh boy. So yeah, I played it a bit more than you did. When we did try to play together, tell them what happened, Stocks. What happened?
Well, on the times we could actually get into the game in the first place, which was really frustrating. We was getting a game, we'd like party up and try and get a match. The amount of times we just got told to go away and then get sent back to the menu was too many times. Now I know it's a beta, so I can't really complain too much, but it was frustrating. It was frustrating to see. I mean, even massive mega AAA games that are getting launched at the minute, like for example, what was the latest one? Payday 3. That had a load of like capacity problems. So for a beta, I'm sure they're not going to put too much effort into it, but it was really annoying. But the game in general is very good. I can see it being a very good like party game. I think streamers are going to have a field day with this. The only problem is the people.
Oh, don't. Right.
The people playing the game.
We established pretty quickly it's a game. It's a given. It's a game that's built on teamwork. So obviously we're in the same team. We both go down. We have two randoms. It's like, not going to help us. No, cool. We get kicked off the map. Absolutely fantastic. And it just rubbed us the wrong way.
So the point of the game, if you didn't watch the announcement trailer or listen to our last episode, is you're in like there's two teams and you've got to try and get rid of the opposite team. It's kind of like Splatoon in a way, but instead of having like ink, it's foam. So if you hit your enemy character with enough foam, they turn into like a foam ball essentially. And then if you slide into them and use your attack when they're in that state, then they get smashed off the map and then they're out of the game for a little while until they respawn. Now because it's very teamwork based, especially on the game mode that we played, where eventually you get a VIP, and if the VIP gets knocked off the map, the game's over. Teamwork's very important, obviously. Now, when we was playing, like Ben said a minute ago, we got foamed up pretty bad. We was in a bad state. Now, there's a person standing next to me that was doing nothing. They turned around, looked at me, and then instead of just pressing one little button to revive me, and it's instantaneous. They just essentially the same way they knock people off the map, you can use that on your own team to revive. So you slide into them, and then they get essentially knocked out of this foam ball. Did they do it? Did they? Hell, they just looked at me, turned around, went, "Nah, I'm all right," and then just ran off. And this happened many times with different players. It's like, it's a team game. Play as a team. So when Ben asked me after we played, what did I think? I was like, the game's good, but the people are knobbers.
That's tagline.
That was my tagline for it, because the game looked really fun. Like, we was having a laugh when we got into matches. We was having good time. Like, the characters were fun to play. They've got different like styles of playing, so there's something for everyone. But unless you know your team, like you've got a team of 4 that you trust and you play with often, and you can obviously in a party chat or whatever, more often than not you're going to get randos, and they don't care. All they care about is themselves. I had the same problem when I used to play Knockout City. It was just like you could in that game, you obviously it was dodgeball essentially, but you could pass the ball to each other and get it around quicker and then try and catch someone out. But no, everyone wanted to be the one to get that kill, like get that knockout. So did they help you? No. Did they revive you? No. When I played in a party with like people I knew and that was all interested in playing the game, it was good, because I'd be like, oh no, I'm down, and then someone would come, 2 people would carry on battling, someone would drop back, pick me up or whatever, res, whatever it was, and then we'd be good to go. But yeah, you're going to want to make sure you get a good party going, get some good friends in there with you, because the game is fun, but I was getting seriously wound up, the amount of games we lost because people did not res. Even when it got to the point where it was like the VIP character, the main character of the game, or that match that you have to protect, they weren't even picking them up. They weren't even sorting them out. They were just letting them die. And then I can't say die, because in the game, you don't kill, you chill. They had a big tutorial before you play the game. And it's like, we don't kill people in this game, we chill them. But yeah, it's the amount of times that we lost the game because no one could be bothered to sort of help the people out in need. It was frustrating. But no, in terms of technically the game, the graphics, the actual gameplay of it, I had a laugh. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a fun game to play. I think any game like that, every player, they play it like it's Call of Duty, which you have to shift that mindset. It's not one of those games. It's built for cooperation and stuff. And like, there were some games when we were literally raging to the point I was like, I'm going to throw my controller against the wall in a minute, because it was so dumb things. Like, we're both down and we're like, all right, do you want to revive us? We get knocked off the map. And I agree, they're just knobbers, these people. But fun game. It's definitely a game that if you've got friends, go on a party with them, because you can't count on randos online. It's just a given, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I'll be streaming this 100%, because I like I say, I enjoyed it. If I do stream it, I'm going to have to get you involved, obviously.
I'll be in that. I'll be all over that as well, because that'd be fun to try and put that streams and stuff and see if we don't actually lose our rag, which could be very difficult, because I thought you were going to bust a blood vessel. I'm not going to lie.
It was just getting really frustrating when, like, for the 4th, 5th game on the bounce, the same thing was happening, and it's so simple to prevent. Like, it's so easy. Just use your eyes. Look, oh, someone's down. They're on my team. I should help them up. Nah, it's all about like, I want to be the MVP in the game. No, you don't. You want to win as a team. Ugh.
It's like, go away.
Very, very.
Yeah, that was the only thing of it. It was just, certainly the game itself was enjoyable. It's fun to play. There's not a lot to it. It's just that side of it when you have to count on randoms online who never play these games. Is any game like that, where it's Fortnite, I'm not even going to mention Overwatch, because that'll just boil my blood. But yeah, it's got promise, and obviously, as with a beta, I don't think they really put too much into like the connectivity side of it, because we couldn't get in game for ages. It just was like error, and I'm like, why? What are you doing?
That was when I was closest to blowing a blood vessel, was when we'd had all that stuff of teamwork, and it was like, one more, and then we went in, it was like, no, lost connection, get out. And I was like,
Uninstall.
Get that off my system now. Get it off my games console. But no, I'm looking forward to the full release. I had fun. It seems to be a good game. I hope it picks up. But yeah, that's my views on the Foamstars. And that is the end of the episode.
We have waffled on for way too long, I think, haven't we?
We have said some words today, mate. We have said some words. Now, we're going to use this bit at the end. Obviously, if you like what you see, listen, hearing, words. If you like what you're hearing, obviously drop us a like, follow. We've got the episodes up on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Pocket Cast. We're trying to get everywhere. Leave us a like and follow on there on your preferred platform. We're on Twitter as well. We've got our website up now as well, www.thegameovercast.com. Check us out. And obviously in Spotify you can leave voice notes as well. If you want to say something to us, we can listen to them on another episode, maybe episode 3. As you said at the beginning, If you want to have a crack at writing a funny intro, send it in. We've got a Discord as well. We'll put all the links into the show notes for everything. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back. If you come back, if you're new, welcome. And yeah, have a good time. We will be back with episode 3 with, I'm sure, more waffling and more news. Have a good one.
We were.
Exactly.
But yeah, thanks for listening. We actually are. I feel like we're a real podcast now because I never thought episode 2 was going to come out.
No.
It's out after the pain, so I can officially say we are a real podcast now. So onwards and upwards. And yeah, just thanks for listening as always, guys. Yeah, follow us on our socials, hit us up. If there's anything you want us to cover, just drop us a DM, comment, whatever your preference is. And if you want to support us, we got some cool merch as well. You can buy and rep your favorite podcast with two idiots that don't know what they're talking about. But yeah, and we will catch you on the next episode.